Have you ever stopped to consider that your body is a messenger? That every pain, every discomfort, every diagnosis is not a punishment or a coincidence, but rather a profound conversation that your inner self is trying to have with you? We live in a world that teaches us to silence our bodies with quick fixes, to cover up the symptoms so that we can keep moving forward. But what if I told you that within the very words you use every single day, within the thoughts you cultivate in the secret garden of your mind, lies the key, not only to understanding those messages, but to completely rewriting the story of your health? What if the power to heal did not live in a bottle, but in your own awareness? Stay with me, because you are about to discover how simple words, arranged in the right way and charged with your intention, can become the most powerful balm you have ever experienced, healing your body from the inside out. If you feel that this message resonates with you, if you are ready to take hold of your own well-being, I invite you to give this video a like and to subscribe to the channel. In doing so, you are not only helping us reach more people who need to hear this, you are also joining a community that is awakening to the extraordinary power we all carry within us. It is your first step towards declaring to the universe that you choose healing. Let us go deeper into this idea, an idea that to many may seem radical, but that is as ancient as humanity itself. Your thoughts and your words create your physical reality. This is not a poetic metaphor. It is a functional principle of our existence. Every thought you have emits a frequency, a vibration. When a thought is repeated again and again, it becomes a belief, and these beliefs are what give instructions to every single cell in your body. Imagine your mind as the conductor of a vast orchestra and every cell in your body as a musician. If the conductor is constantly thinking in disharmony, in fear, in self-criticism, what kind of music do you think the orchestra will play? The result is what we call illness, or, as the great teacher Louise Hay preferred to call it, an imbalance, an absence of harmony. The body is simply manifesting on the physical plane the music that is being directed from the mind. Modern science, through fields such as psychoneuroimmunology, is beginning to validate what the wise have known for millennia. Researchers have demonstrated how stress, fear, and anxiety, which are all states of mind, weaken the immune system, and conversely how states of love, gratitude, and peace strengthen it. Your cells are listening constantly. They do not understand English or Spanish or any other spoken language, but they understand perfectly the language of emotion and the vibration that lies behind your words. When you say, "I am fed up with this situation," your digestive system may respond. When you say, "I cannot bear that person," your legs or your back may begin to ache. When you feel that life is suffocating you, your respiratory system may reflect that sensation. This is not punishment, it is correspondence. Your body, in its infinite wisdom and its love for you, is showing you a perfect picture of your dominant thought patterns. The first step towards changing this is to become aware, to become a quiet observer of your own thoughts and of the words that leave your mouth. How often do you criticize yourself? How many times a day do you complain? What stories do you tell yourself about your life, your health, your body? You might be surprised to discover just how many negative declarations we make without even realizing it. How clumsy I am. I never have enough money. Love is not for me. I always get ill in winter. Every one of those phrases is a decree that your subconscious mind and your body accept as a direct instruction. The wonderful news, the truly marvelous news, is that if you created that reality with your words, then you also have the power to create a new one. And you do so through the conscious and deliberate practice of positive affirmations. An affirmation is far more than a pretty phrase. It is a declaration of a truth that you choose to accept in the present moment. When you repeat it, you are sowing a new seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. At first, your conscious mind may resist. If you say, "I love and approve of myself," and you have spent 30 years criticizing yourself, it is quite possible that a small voice inside will say, "Really? You? That is entirely normal." But you keep planting the seed. You water it with your repetition, with your feeling, with your conviction, and little by little, that new seed begins to germinate and put down roots and grow until it becomes a flourishing tree that gradually displaces the old weeds of self-criticism. This is the deepest healing work that exists. It is the act of reclaiming your creative power over your own experience. Now let us explore some common imbalances and the mental patterns that give rise to them so that you can begin to make these connections in your own life and use the right words to heal. The first is headaches and migraines. Think of the expression, "I am racking my brains over this." Headaches, from simple tension to debilitating migraines, often arise from self-invalidation, from fierce and relentless self-criticism. They tend to affect people who push themselves too hard, who seek perfection in everything, and who punish themselves mentally when they fall short of it. There is an underlying fear, a dread of not being good enough, not intelligent enough, not capable enough. Migraines, in particular, are connected to people who want everything to be perfect and who accumulate an enormous amount of frustration and resentment when things do not unfold according to their rigid plan. They can also be related to resistance to the flow of life, to trying to control everything with the mind rather than trusting and allowing things to be. The pain is an explosion of that accumulated pressure. The healing thought pattern you need to cultivate is one of unconditional love and acceptance towards yourself. The words that will heal this condition are, "I love and approve of myself unconditionally. I release all pressure and all need to be perfect. I trust the process of life. I am at peace with my mind and with my whole being. I allow my mind to relax and fill with thoughts of peace. All is well in my world." Repeat this not only when you are in pain, but every day, so that you dissolve the pattern that causes it. The second is throat problems. The throat is the great channel of expression in our body. It is the energetic center where our creativity and our truth seek to emerge into the world. When we suffer from sore throats, loss of voice, laryngitis, or thyroid problems, the message is clear. There is something we are not saying. There is a truth we are suppressing. It may be a fear of speaking, of saying no, of setting boundaries. It may be repressed anger, heated words that we swallowed out of fear of conflict or rejection. It may also be frustrated creativity, a desire to create, to sing, to write, to paint, that we will not allow ourselves to express. The throat is the bridge between the heart and the mind. When there is a blockage, it is because we are not allowing the feelings of the heart to be expressed through words. To heal your throat, you need to give yourself permission to speak. You need to know that your voice matters and that you have every right to express yourself. The healing affirmation is, "I open my throat and I express my truth with love." Write that in the comments. I have the right to be heard and to say what I feel. I release all unexpressed resentment and anger. My creativity flows freely. I communicate with ease and joy. I say no when it is necessary, with love and respect for myself and for others. The third is back pain. Our back represents our support system in life, and each section of the back carries a slightly different meaning. Pain in the upper back is usually related to a feeling of lacking emotional support. You feel unloved, as though you are carrying the emotional responsibilities of others, or that your partner, your family, or your friends are not giving you the love and support you genuinely need. It is the weight of the emotional world resting on your shoulders. Pain in the middle back is connected to guilt. You are carrying the weight of the past, something you did or did not do, and for which you have not forgiven yourself. It is like walking everywhere with a rucksack full of stones of guilt. Every time you move, the guilt reminds you it is still there. Pain in the lower back, the lumbar region, is almost always connected to fear about money and a lack of financial support. I will not have enough. How will I pay the bills? Money is hard to come by. This constant worry creates enormous tension at the base of the spine, which is your foundation. To heal your back, you need to release these burdens. The words that will help you are, for the upper back, I love and approve of myself. Life supports me. The entire universe supports me. I trust that I will always receive the emotional support I need. I release the need to carry the problems of others. For the middle back, I forgive myself completely for the past. I release all guilt. I learn from my experiences and move forward with love. I am at peace with my history. For the lower back, I trust the process of life. Everything I need is provided to me at the perfect time and in the perfect way. The universe is my inexhaustible source of abundance and financial support. I am safe. The fourth is stomach problems. The stomach is where we digest not only food, but also our ideas, our experiences, and our emotions. When you have stomach problems such as acid reflux, gastritis, ulcers, or indigestion, The question to ask yourself is this: what situation, person, or idea am I unable to digest? What is it that is turning my stomach? Often it is a fear of the new, a resistance to change. We cling to the old and the familiar, and when life presents us with a new idea or a new circumstance, our stomach contracts. It may also be chronic worry, the habit of going round and round a problem without finding a solution, which generates an excess of acid. Constant criticism, both towards oneself and towards others, is also a common cause of stomach discomfort. You are quite literally eating yourself up from the inside. Healing of the stomach comes from a peaceful assimilation of life. The key affirmations are: I move through life with joy and ease. I assimilate new experiences and new ideas effortlessly. I release the past and allow each moment to be fresh and new. I trust that my inner intelligence knows how to process all of my experiences. I am at peace. Allow yourself to feel how these words calm your digestive system, how they give it permission to relax and simply do its work. The fifth is knee problems. The knees represent our capacity for flexibility, our ability to bend with the changes of life, and they are also connected to pride and ego. When the knees ache or become stiff, it is a sign of inflexibility, of stubbornness. There is an inability to yield, to see another person's point of view. The ego is so dominant that it would rather break than bend. This can also be related to a fear of the future and an inability to move forward. Our knees are what allow us to take the next step in life. If you are afraid of what is coming, if you feel stuck, your knees may reflect that paralysis. Forgiveness is a crucial element here. The inability to forgive someone or to forgive yourself keeps you rigid and bound to the past, preventing you from moving forward with any real flexibility. The words that restore flexibility to your knees are: I flow with life and adapt easily to change. I release all pride and ego. I am flexible and capable of yielding. I forgive easily. I move forward in life with joy and confidence, knowing that every step I take is safe. I bow graciously to the good that life offers me. The sixth is skin conditions. The skin is our largest organ, and it represents our individuality, our boundary with the outer world. Skin problems such as acne, psoriasis, eczema, or allergies often reflect a feeling of being threatened in our individuality. There is a deep anxiety, a fear. We feel that others are getting under our skin. It may be a sense of having no space of one's own, of one's privacy being invaded. Acne in particular tends to be related to a lack of self-acceptance, a self-rejection that manifests as small eruptions of anger and resentment towards one's own image. Allergies are a form of hypersensitivity, but it is worth asking yourself to whom or to what you are allergic in your life. What person or situation irritates you to the point where your body reacts in an exaggerated way? The healing of the skin begins with feeling safe within your own skin. The powerful affirmations are: I feel safe and secure being myself. My individuality is a gift. I love and approve of my body and my skin. I create my own space of peace and safety. I release all irritation and allow peace and harmony to reign within me and to be reflected on my surface. These are just a few examples, but the principle applies to every part of your body. Your body loves you unconditionally, and its only desire is to function in a perfect state of health. The messages it sends you through symptoms are loving calls to attention, invitations to review your patterns of thought. This is not about blaming yourself for being ill. Absolutely not. It is about empowering yourself. It is about realizing that if a pattern of thought was able to create an imbalance, then a new pattern of thought is capable of creating balance and health. It is now essential to understand that this process of healing requires your active and loving participation. It is not enough to repeat the affirmations mechanically, whilst your mind remains anchored in worry and self-criticism. There are two complementary practices that are the pillars of this path of transformation: forgiveness and self-love. Forgiveness is the key that frees you from the chains of the past. Holding on to resentment, anger, or pain over something someone did to you is like drinking poison every day and expecting the other person to die. The only one who suffers is you. That resentment becomes a dense and toxic energy that lodges itself in your body, creating inflammation and a whole range of physical conditions. To forgive does not mean that you approve of what the other person did. It does not mean you have to resume a relationship with them. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It is the act of saying, I am no longer willing to carry this weight. I choose to be free. You can try a simple exercise. Close your eyes. Visualize the person you need to forgive standing before you. Say to them in your mind, I forgive you for all the harm you have caused me, whether consciously or unconsciously. I release you, and I release myself. I wish you peace. And then, and this is crucial, visualize yourself and say, I forgive myself for having carried this resentment for so long. I forgive myself for the harm I have done to myself through my thoughts. I love and approve of myself. In doing so, you dissolve one of the deepest causes of illness that exists. The second pillar is self-love. It is the foundation upon which all healing is built. Louise Hay taught a wonderful and simple technique known as mirror work. Each morning, before your day begins, look into your own eyes in the mirror, not to criticize a wrinkle or a hair out of place, but to look deeply into your own eyes. Breathe slowly and say your own name, followed by these words. I love you. I truly love you. I love you and I accept you exactly as you are. At first it may feel uncomfortable, even faintly ridiculous, but if you persevere, something remarkable begins to happen. You begin to connect with your inner self in a profound way. You begin to see yourself with eyes of compassion. And when you love yourself, you stop seeking external approval. You stop punishing yourself. You stop allowing others to treat you badly. Self-love becomes your emotional and spiritual immune system. When you love yourself, you choose thoughts that nourish you. You choose foods that heal you. You choose relationships that lift you. You choose joy. The invitation today is to become an alchemist of your own health. Take these words, take these ideas, and make them your own. Begin to listen to the whispers of your body before it is forced to shout. When you feel a discomfort, ask it with love. Dear body, what are you trying to tell me? What thought do I need to release? What belief do I need to change? And then give your body the healing words it is longing to hear. Declare your health. Affirm your well-being. Speak to your cells with love. Tell them you love them, that you trust their wisdom, that you are working together with them to create vibrant health. You are the power in your world. You are the healer. You are the authority. Do not hand your power over to anyone or anything outside of yourself. Reclaim it, use it, and watch as your body responds with gratitude, with vitality, and with a deep and abiding sense of peace. Healing is not a distant destination. It is a choice you can make here and now with your next word, with your next thought. Choose to heal. Thank you for joining me on this journey inward. If these words have lit a spark of hope or of recognition in you, please share it in the comments. Tell us which affirmation resonates most deeply with you, or what message from your body you have decided to begin listening to. Your story may be the very inspiration someone else needs to begin their own path of healing. Together we can create a wave of well-being that transforms our lives and our world. Remember, you always carry an infinite power within you. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.